With me today, I have somebody who has become very influential in the crypto space. He started one of the first YouTube channels to educate people who didn't know about cryptocurrency or Bitcoin at all nearly 5 years ago, before anybody even knew what Bitcoin was. And he was one of the first YouTube channels to tell people to join the crowd sale for Ethereum. So I'm proud to present to you guys Tyson. Thank you for sitting down with me today. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me here, Casey.
So can we start out by going a little bit on your background and how you started out?
Sure. So I'm originally from Vietnam. I was born there in Vietnam and left after the war between the U.S. and Vietnam in the late 70s, and came to America. Before I came to America, we spent like over a year and a half, like almost a year and a half in refugee camps in Malaysia. Mm-hmm. From there, we came to the U.S. I lived in the Salem, Oregon area, which is where we would pick fruit and vegetables after elementary school. My family saved up some money. We moved down to the state of Texas, and we lived around the city of Fort Worth. And what we did there was we worked in the sweatshops, and we sewed clothes for the sweatshops, like the dress you're wearing. My older brother and I would sew like about 1,000 to 2,000 of those garments a week. And for like this dress shirt that I'm wearing is a little bit harder, so we would sew about 500-600 of those a week. And then we saved up some money and we moved down to the city of Austin, which is a port city and it's one of the biggest metropolitan areas in America. And we started fixing commercial fishing boats. My dad got a machine shop, so he went back to doing what he was doing when he was in Vietnam, which was fix commercial fishing boats, and that's how we started there. We moved around that coastal area near Houston quite a bit, and then we finally settled in a small town called Port Arthur, which is
where I'm from.
Yeah, the difference is that of us living in Port Arthur was that you were living in the safe and decent side of town, and my dad did not. He was not very aware of the neighborhoods.
Right.
So he saw a really low-cost neighborhood in downtown Port Arthur, which was, and then he bought a small piece of property, land, and then he parked his our family mobile home there. And a mobile home is a house with wheels, which is considered very low class in America, but that's all we could afford at that time, and we lived there for close to 7. We lived in that same mobile home because we kept pulling it around from one coastal city to another, but we ended up parking it there. And we lived there, and it was a very, very ghetto and very...
non-safe environment. I'm telling you, I grew up on the decent side of town, and this is the complete 360. Whereas nobody even goes down to that part of the town anymore.
Yeah, like they can't even give away free land down there, because it's so ghetto, and it was infested with drugs. Everybody was selling crack, everybody was selling cocaine, heroin, marijuana on the streets, and just all day long. Like you can just walk out into the streets and get it.
Right. So growing up in that type of environment, did that affect you in any way, your journey at all?
Absolutely. So, in Vietnamese, we have a saying that says that, if you get near the light, you become brighter. If you get near the ink, you become darker, right? Because all the ink in Vietnam, most of it is black ink, So, and what that means is that if you get near good people or a good environment, you'll turn out to be pretty decent. And if you get around a dark or a bad environment, you can turn out the same way. In America, we say that if you want to soar like an eagle, do not hang around a bunch of turkeys, And so we had a bunch of turkeys in our neighborhood, and it ended up being I ended up getting into trouble. I ended up getting incarcerated for, driving without a license, driving without insurance, for drugs, for guns, and all kinds of stupid nonsense. And this is normal with everyone that lives in the ghetto.
In that side of town.
Yeah, in that side of town. Because everybody's so dead poor and they're just desperate and they'll just do anything.
For money. So that's what you grew up, this is how I make money. That's all you knew.
Yeah, that's all I knew, because everybody around me was hustling drugs, stealing cars, just doing everything that they could, I think there's a saying that says desperate times calls for desperate measures, and we were desperate.
Yeah.
Okay? So
that led to incarceration.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, multiple incarcerations for just, miscellaneous stuff, for, for drugs, for guns, all kinds of stuff. And even when I was incarcerated, I would still try to hustle and do things here and there to make money.
You fall back in the same pattern.
Yeah, because I didn't know a way out.
Right.
You know, I had dropped out of high school to come home and help my family work to pay the bills and stuff. So no one ever told me that there's other ways to make money. No one ever told me that there's an alternative route. I grew up in the ghetto, the barrios, the poor neighborhoods, and that's all I knew.
Right.
And that's everyone I see around me, they were doing the same thing.
So what was the point that you've come to realize to break through? Oh man, there is another way to make money.
During my incarceration, I ran into a Catholic priest who helped change my life, who helped turn me. I ran into several people that helped me, but one of them was a Catholic priest who showed me, one of the lessons that he taught me was that you know, in order for us to do great things in the future, that God prepares us for the little things now in anticipation of what's ahead. And if we're not able to pass these small tests and these small exams, that these pop quizzes that God puts in front of us, that we can never do great things if we can't do these small things right in advance. And he says that during the times that we're suffering and we're struggling with these things, it may appear that we're being punished or no one else is going through these, but what it is it's a way for us to prepare us for what's coming, the great things that's coming ahead.
Right.
So that was one of the things that you know, started making me think.
It resonated with you.
Yeah, you know, like maybe there is a chance that I can do something with my life, right? Because I was real lost at that time. Another thing too is that I was able to encounter a book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Right.
And in that book, it was one of the biggest ahas and light bulb moments for me that opened up my mind was that it said in the book that I read by Robert Kiyosaki, he said that if you want to learn how to make money, if you want to make money, you got to learn how to make money, which that was the first time someone had ever told me that. Before that, I thought that you go to school, you learn math, science, the traditional academic route. Yeah, and that would be enough for you to become wealthy. And he was saying in the book that the reason why people come out of college, right, and they don't become wealthy and become financially independent, and they're stuck working a job 9 to 5 for the rest of their life, that's how most of the people are in the world, is because they went to school to learn things that had nothing to do with making money. Like you learn art, you learn history, you learn, you know, science, you learn algebra, geometry, and none of that stuff has anything to do with making money unless you specifically go into that field. Now, if you go and become a scientist, obviously you need to learn science. If you go and become a college professor or a math professor or a mathematician or something, yes, you need to go and learn high-level math.
But to make money, to the path to success and stuff, college doesn't really teach you the mentality you need to have and stuff too, is what I'm experiencing now through you.
Yeah, and so if you want to make money, you got to go learn to be an entrepreneur. You got to go learn trading. You got to go learn how to invest your money. You got to learn about real estate. You actually got to learn things that actually make you money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So the priest was one of the people who helped you see the breakthrough. Were there any others that assisted you along the way to break you through, to be like, okay, I'm doing this, and then every time you fall, you get back up and then do it again, no matter what? Yeah,
so I ran into a entrepreneur, a businessman from the island of the Bahamas, right? One of the Caribbean islands called the Bahamas, and I ran into him, and he shared a book about trading and investing with me, which up until that time, I had heard about stocks, I heard about commodities, I had heard about currencies. You can trade and buy and sell gold and silver and invest into bonds and invest into stocks and things like that. But I really had no guidance. Okay, so he was the first one that showed me that, hey, if you want to learn about this stuff, you got to get educated on it. Just like Rich Dad, Poor Dad said that, hey, you got to get educated about making money. So he introduced me to the stock market. And when I say introduce, I said he showed me the right books to read that he thought was the right books to read, and then he showed me some real estate books to read, and then between those two, myself personally, I felt at that time that it was easier to get into the stock market and learn how to trade and invest my money because it has a lower starting point. I didn't have enough money to buy a $100,000 or $200,000 house in America, and I didn't know how that could be done, but I could see myself investing $100, $1,000, $5,000 into the stock market. So that's how I started down that path. So after making that decision to go down the path of trading and investing, what I did was I tried to set up an account. Like I tried all kinds of different things. I tried to read out of a book, and I tried to open up my own TD Ameritrade account. That didn't work, and I tried to figure it out online. I tried to practice with the simulators, and I was really getting very frustrated because I only had a very small amount of money, and I didn't know like what to go. So I went to workshops. I went to different meetups.
You tried to educate yourself.
Yeah, I tried to
more.
educate. I tried to talk to other people and find somebody that had done it. That was my strongest belief was that I'm a very slow learner when it comes to like reading and writing and things like that. But if you sit there next to me and you show me what to do, I can learn it.
You got to experience it firsthand to see how it's done, and you're like, okay, I understand how this is going to happen.
Absolutely. I'm a more of a hands-on person,
Yes.
because I grew up, blue collar in the ghetto, fixing shrimp boats, doing machine work, being a welder, driving forklifts, driving cranes, right? Wearing hard hats. I didn't come.
You didn't know how to do stock or anything.
Yeah, that was completely different to me, and so I needed someone to sit there and show me. So I went around to different workshops that were in hotels and different meetups that people had in coffee shops and stuff like that in my city. At that point, I had relocated to the city of Austin, to start my life over. I had lost everything, so I wanted to start over fresh. And I made the decision that, I am going to find somebody that knows about stocks and investing so I can learn from them. And after a while being in the city of Austin and after going to a bunch of meetups and conferences and seminars and stuff, I finally ran into some guys that I personally witnessed and saw them trade.
Right.
Before that, I went to a bunch of different places, but I never saw someone actually buy or sell any stocks. And when I went to these guys and I saw them do it, I went ahead and paid them and invested them into them. I paid like $5,000, right? And to me at that time, it was a huge amount of money. It was a huge amount, right? I had to go scrape, I had to save. At that time, I was sleeping, right, in a studio apartment that was very small in North Austin. I was rolling up my jeans to use as a pillow, and I was using my jacket as a blanket at night when I was sleeping.
It wasn't luxurious at all.
Absolutely not. When I was working as two jobs. I was working as a bouncer at a club, and I was working as a personal trainer at a Gold's Gym. And at the club at night, like before I leave the club, I would actually grab like one of those packets, those plastic packets with the spoon and the fork and the napkin inside, and I would take a plastic cup and I would drink out of the plastic cup, and then I would take that cup and the spoon and the fork home, and that was my utensils at that time, So, and the reason why I made a huge decision to invest everything I had into getting educated was when I saw that trader trade in front of me, I knew that if I could just have him show me that on a consistent basis, because I had lifetime access to the training, and I knew that if you were willing to show me and guide me and hold my hand, I knew that it was only a matter of time. I might be slower than everybody else, but it didn't matter to me. It could take a year, it could take 2 years, 3 years, it didn't matter to me.
You're gonna get it.
Yeah, I was committed to succeeding as a trader and as an investor in the markets. Okay?
So this guy showed you how he consistently got the results, and you learned firsthand through him.
Yeah.
Were you able?
Well, it wasn't just one person.
Yeah.
It was a team of traders.
Right. So were you able to then learn of course you learned from him and stuff, but were you able to get your own consistent results?
Yeah, I started having success, because it was much easier for me to learn hands-on from someone than to try to read out a book and do it, right? So and so what happened was that went on, right? And then several years later, right, I became successful enough to where the guys that were teaching me, right, they recruited me to come work with them to help other people learn how to trade and invest their money in the markets.
So you got so good at it.
Yeah.
You came to them for help, and now they're adding you onto their team.
Yeah, because not too many people know how to trade stocks and know how to explain to somebody else. And they saw that every time I came to class and every time I would stay late to help other people, I would volunteer. And the reason why I was doing that was that I cut out like going out with my friends. I cut out going to the sports games. You know, if you live in Austin, football and sports is huge there.
And bars and
and clubs and things like that. And on my spare time, I would come and I would help other students. I would network with them because I wanted to be around successful traders and investors. That's what I wanted.
So you immerse yourself, your whole being into learning how to trade and invest, and they saw that and you put in the time and effort, so that led to the new opportunity to join their team.
Yeah, so one thing led to another, you know, I was working with them, I was helping other people, and that I gained a lot of experience, and that improved my trading and investing skills, simply because now when you're forced to have to explain it to somebody else, it makes you think of the things that you're doing, and it sharpens your skills.
Right.
So as I was trading and investing my own money, I was helping other people do the same thing, and that led me to become better and better, to the point where one of the people that I was helping, they saw what I was doing, and they asked me to come work at their energy brokerage firm. The CEO of an energy brokerage firm was trying to learn how to trade. So through a conversation that we had, I ended up coming to work with him to help him, you know, with his energy brokerage firm. So they had to monitor the natural gas markets, the commodities market, and do a lot of things. Because what they do is they were selling electricity, right? They were helping commercial businesses like the places like this, right, get commercial electricity. And so he recruited me to come work with him with my knowledge, my background, and everything. And what was funny was that, you know, I believe that everything happens for a reason. When I got there, the CEO and the founders of the energy brokerage firm was making a lot of money with their energy brokerage firm, right? Helping commercial businesses buy electricity, but they weren't paying attention to it. Instead, they were worried about and concerned with building these computers to process Bitcoin transactions. And that was the first time I had heard about Bitcoins.
Right, so that was your introduction into Bitcoin.
Yes, and what happened was, I was like, you know, why are these guys making so much money from the electricity and the energy business, and all their time was focused on this magic internet money called Bitcoins? And I thought that these guys are nuts.
So it intrigued you.
Yeah, it did, because I'm a trader, so I trade currencies, the foreign exchange currencies, and it just baffled me that why are these guys worried about some magic internet money when they could be worried about their electricity? If they want currencies, why not invest into the euro, the pound, the yen, and things like that?
Right.
What is this magic internet money?
So did you dig a little deeper?
Well, I was making fun of them. And one day, one of the founders of the energy brokerage firm said, hey, quit being stupid and quit talking nonsense. Go read the Bitcoin white paper, right? And then read it for yourself so you'll know how it works, instead of just, you know, talking about something you don't know. And I have been a big proponent. When I talked to my trading students before and my investing students before, I would always tell them, hey, you know, don't make decisions off of opinions, make decisions off of facts in the market. Right. And so when he told me, hey, go read the Bitcoin white paper, it reminded me that, hey, you know what, here I am being a hypocrite and telling my students to go get educated, and here I am talking about Bitcoin. I didn't understand what it was.
Right.
So I went and got the Bitcoin white paper, downloaded it, and I read it. And I read this. There's two parts of the white paper that I recommend everyone go and read. The first section is like a summary, which is like the text, and it's very easy to understand. The author of the Bitcoin white paper, his name is Satoshi Nakamoto, and he's the inventor, the founder of Bitcoin, and the creator of Bitcoin. And he writes, he's a very educated person, because you can tell that he writes very clearly the summary of what Bitcoin is supposed to do. And then the other half, the rest of it, is where he talks about the math, the computer science, the code, and the math to how that makes it work. And I was, you know, very slow in school, meaning that I was not very good like all the other Asian kids that was good in math and science.
So you read it, but you didn't fully understand it.
Yeah, the math and science part.
That
right?
part.
So,
okay.
So I understood the summary.
But you didn't understand the other half.
Yeah, so what happened was, I had a good friend named LeonFu.com that his real name is Leon Fu, but we all call him LeonFu.com, right?
Why is that?
Because when I first met him, I had never met someone that had a domain name. So when I first met him and we tried to exchange contact information, he said, you can email me at leonfu.com. And I'm saying, you have a website? Because this is way back in the mid 2000s, where I didn't know too many people at that time that had a website.
Right, it was all businesses and stuff.
Yeah.
If you think back, it's businesses, there was no personal website. There weren't much of it.
Yeah.
Okay?
So what happened was me and my friends thought that it was hilarious that this guy, he was so nerdy that he had his own website. So to differentiate him from all the other Leons that we knew, we referred to him as leonfu.com.
Okay.
Right?
So,
which Leon you talking about? The leonfu.com.
So you sent him the white paper. What happened from then on?
So I sent him the white paper and I told him, hey, read this white paper and make a list of bullet points of why this Bitcoin is a scam. Why it's BS and why it's a scam, and send me the list so I can tell the owners of the energy brokerage firm that they're being scammed by this Satoshi Nakamoto. And then I call him back a few days later and I asked him, hey, did you make that list for me? Because I think that the guys I'm working with are getting scammed by Satoshi Nakamoto.
Right.
And he said, no, it's not a scam. Matter of fact, I went out and bought a bunch of Bitcoins myself, and you should too. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And he said, yeah, I went out and bought a bunch of these Bitcoins, and you really should. This is going to revolutionize finances and everything. And I said, really? So it's not, it's the computer.
Not a scam.
Yeah, the computer code and the math and everything is legit. He goes, absolutely. There's nothing wrong with it. I mean, everything works just like.
So you consistently got people telling you that this is not a scam.
Yeah. So I trusted leonfu.com, and I know that he's a high-level software engineer at Dell Computers, and he's one of the highest-paid software engineers I've ever met out of anybody, all the software engineers I know. And he would not lie to me about something like that.
Right.
And he wouldn't have went and put his own money to buy it if he thought that was a scam, right? Or something that didn't work. So what I did was, that's when he helped me, and through leonfu.com's help, I was able to purchase my first Bitcoins. And then when he sent it to me and we transacted it and we practiced sending it back and forth, it blew my mind how fast.
How decentralized it was.
Yeah, and even more importantly, how fast the transactions clear and settle to where I can reuse that Bitcoin and send it back out again.
So experiencing it for yourself made you believe in actual Bitcoin.
Yeah, so at that point, I pretty much put nearly all my life savings into it. Like every dollar, everything that I could sell and make an extra few $100, I'd go buy some Bitcoins. Every time, I got extra money, a bonus at work or anything like that, I would go buy some Bitcoins. Every time I made extra money from anywhere, I would go buy some Bitcoins with it.
Right. Okay, and then so you're investing in Bitcoin now through the help of Leon, because he started it after you sent him the white paper. And so you guys are both investing in this new Bitcoin thing. How did you guys proceed from there?
So what happened was, we started telling all our friends on Facebook and telling our coworkers, my trading buddies, all my people that's in my network. And what happened was, people they just couldn't grasp it.
Yeah.
And I had to explain it over and over, and Leon had to explain it to me over and over. So I actually started making videos of him explaining it to me, so I can watch it over and over again, and I can show it to my friends. And then after he explains it to me, I try to re-explain it again in easier to understand terms for non-technical people like myself. And people started watching it online and following along.
Okay, so you started posting these videos online. Which site did you post it on?
I started posting on YouTube because it was simple, it was easy, and I had used YouTube before. And I looked online and there was no videos about trading and investing. Mm-hmm. So now keep in mind that I came from a background of trading and investing in the stocks, futures, Forex market already.
Right.
So I had background in it, and I started to notice that a lot of people were putting up information about trading that was not accurate. And it was just weird that a lot of people were trading and investing into Bitcoins, and some of the stuff they were saying was not consistent with how traders normally trade in the traditional markets. So I posted up my videos to help my friends and family, and maybe if it benefits other people out there, maybe it'll help them too. And what was surprising to me was that I started getting a lot of comments and questions about, hey, what about this? What about that? What about
traction?
Yeah, people started out of nowhere started asking, and I started to see the views go up, you know, and it was very frequent, and the views were going up on my videos, and I'm like, I know I didn't tell that many friends, right? I know that I didn't tell that many traders about my videos, and these were just random strangers from all over the world. And when I looked in the analytics in the YouTube, it would show that people were from China, from Japan, from Korea, from the Middle East, from Africa, from South America. They were all coming to watch our videos, and they were leaving questions and comments. Well, what about this, Ty? What about that? You know, what happens if you do this? And they were asking me for information about trading and investing into different cryptos.
So you actually experienced the social media boom and how it all went down early on.
I guess you can, it's safe to say that. And so I started making videos to respond to that.
Right.
And then I also, there was two reasons why I continued making the videos. One was that to respond to the viewers' questions, because I thought they were good questions, right? And back then, keep in mind that there was not, I didn't know anybody that was making Bitcoin trading and investing videos back then on YouTube. So we made it, and believe it or not, back then, around 2013 and stuff, there was hardly any trolling and any haters in the Bitcoin space. There wasn't. They're like,
not many people knew about it back then.
So the people that came to our channel, they were very supportive of our channel, and they were very positive, and they asked us all legitimate questions. They didn't troll us, right?
Right.
They didn't, come there to hate on us or anything like that. And so I took the time to make the videos to respond to them, and I also made every time that Leon and I invested into new cryptocurrencies or we traded different ones, every time he explained it to me, I would record it. And so I was killing two birds with one stone by sharing it with the audience, by helping out the people. I thought it was cool that everybody was following our channel.
But you're recording it in real time while you were learning it too.
Exactly. And the other thing too is that a lot of the technical stuff that Leon was explaining to me, I didn't always remember it.
Right.
So it was a way for me to record it and go back to it and watch it again, so I didn't have to keep calling him up every week asking him the same questions.
Right. So your audience built from that, right? You and Leon recording the videos, posting it, and you gain an audience. And like we said in the introduction, you're one of the first YouTube channels to tell people to jump on the Ethereum crowd sale.
Yes, absolutely. And that was actually the second alternative cryptocurrency. Like right now we call it cryptocurrencies, but back then they were called altcoins, which stands for alternative coins. And back then, the only cryptocurrency that they didn't even call it cryptocurrencies, you just said Bitcoin. There was no blockchains, there's no cryptocurrencies, none of that. It was just Bitcoin, because that was like 99% of the market, right? And you couldn't, it was extremely difficult to buy any other cryptocurrency back then, because they only traded like maybe a few $100s or maybe $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a day. So if you wanted to buy something like $500 of a cryptocurrency that only traded $1,000 a day, like you pretty much move the market yourself, and it would actually hurt you to do that. Right. So we didn't do that. We only just did Bitcoin. The second one we got into was called NXT, and which was a huge success later on. And then the third one the one you mentioned was called Ethereum. And back then we went and interviewed Vitalik Buterin, the creator and founder, one of the creators and founders of Ethereum. Right. And we walked away from the interview with him, and you can still go see it on our channel right now. It's one of the early cryptocurrency videos that we made. And this guy was just amazing genius when it comes to computer science and computer engineering. And when we walked away from the interview with him, I looked at leonfu.com and I said, we have to invest into this guy. And Leon said, absolutely. And we were trying to tell all our friends, we made videos telling people like, you got to get into this stuff. So you saw the talent behind him and you invested in him. Yeah, I didn't know what Ethereum was. I'm not a computer science guy. I'm a trader and an investor, but I can recognize talent when there's, he was like 19, 20 years old at that time. And he was running circles around Leon, and Leon makes a high six-figure income from Dell computers as a software engineer. So there's not a lot of stuff that you can like confuse him or have him. He's intelligent in his own respect too. Yeah, he's one of the best software engineers on the planet. So you're not going to confuse him or lose him. And he was just fascinated by this kid Vitalik, and not just, if it was just leonfu.com only, it'd be one thing. But it was you. Well, there was a bunch of other engineers there at the conference. So it wasn't just Leon, and they were all astonished at this young prodigy, right? And so I said, hey, we got to invest into this guy, and we got to load up on him. And when I say load up, don't think that I put like hundreds of thousands of dollars into it, okay? We put a small amount of money into it, but that everything that I could put into it, it was a lot for me at that time when I did it.
And so obviously that paid off well for you?
Yes, it paid off extremely well for everyone on our team, and that was one of the first big hits that we had, was the Ethereum crowd, the success of the Ethereum trade or investment, right? Which allowed us to have the capital to invest into many other projects since then, like for example, like the Lisk project, the Waves project from Russia, the Lisk project from Germany, and then the Neo project from China, the Stratus project from London. So all these different projects we got into that made several hundred, several thousand times our money.
Right.
And when they call it X's.
Okay, X's.
In crypto, because if you make like 50% profit in the stock market, they call that 50% profit. So you put in $100 and you grew that to $150, that means you made 50% profit, right? But if you go from $100 to $200, that's 100% profit. But in the crypto space, because the numbers are so huge, the gains are so huge, we call it X's, meaning times. The letter X, which stands for times.
So
one times your money.
Yeah. So if you made $100 and you made $200, that was 1x.
Yeah.
And so on and so on. So you guys, from the capital you gained there, were able to invest in other cryptocurrencies, and those brought back many X's too, and consistent results back and forth, and people like, oh man, these guys are onto something.
Yeah, and we started having like professionals, and like doctors, lawyers. We had people start reaching out to us privately after watching our YouTube videos, and because we had huge hits with NXT, with Stratus, with Waves, with Neo, and other projects. And we started having people contact us privately to manage their money. They were like, hey, let me give you some money, and then whatever you guys invest into, right? Can you put our money into it? And I'm like, what's going on here? Like, why are these people wanting to give me money, and I'm just some random YouTuber and random trader on the internet? And I remember it's been a long time, I can't remember the person's name, but they left a phone number on their email. And I called and talked to that person, to one of our viewers, and he was saying that he's so busy with his work that there's no way that he can have time to do the research like we do. And he's been following us for a while. He knows we're legit. He goes, we've had some huge hits with the ones that we've picked. And he says he trusts that we know because at that time there was no other channel.
Right.
There was no other channel talking about trading and investing in crypto.
So these guys that contacted you trusted you.
Yeah, because we had, the one thing that I grew up in the hood, so we always say that, documentation trumps conversation.
Yes.
You can say whatever you want, but where's the documentation?
The paper trail or the video, in your case, the video trail. People would look back and like Ethereum, Stratus, all the other ones you invested in. So did you help these guys?
Well, we were not licensed financial advisors in the U.S., so we are not allowed to accept someone's money.
Okay.
And then so myself and LeonFood.com and the rest of our team, we decided, we kept getting these requests. And at first we thought they were just a bunch of guys, trolling us or hating on us or just messing with us for fun. But when I had that phone conversation, I realized that there are real people out there that are serious in learning what we have learned and the mistakes that we've made, because they don't have the time to learn it, right? I decided, hey, you know what? Why don't we do a class or a boot camp and let these people know, and if they're interested, they can come and we can share with them what we've learned.
So you created a product rather than throw everything away with these people asking you for help because you're not a financial advisor or anything.
Yeah.
So you created a product for them to have?
Yeah,
to get access to?
And I didn't even know if it was gonna work.
Okay.
Yeah, so I set up boot camp. I said, hey, look, and Leon was like, what are we gonna teach him? I said, well, I had experience. David and I, our third business partner, David and I had experience he's a badass options trader too, by the way. We had to pull him away from a options hedge fund, right?
Okay.
To come and team up with us so that we can have him on our trading team. So David and I said, well, we've been teaching people how to trade stocks, futures, Forex, options for many years already. So Ty and I have experience, and we can build a curriculum to teach people So it's not like we were new to teaching trading.
Right.
We were new and we had lost enough money and made enough mistakes in the crypto space to where we were confident that we could teach somebody what we know about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency trading and investing.
And have them learn from your mistakes so they don't have to repeat it.
Yeah.
So was it a hit? Did people...
Well, we weren't sure. So I contacted a few people that said that they wanted us to manage their money. And I said, hey, we cannot manage your money, but we're going to do this 4-day boot camp. And if you're interested, you can attend that boot camp, right? And we set a fairly high tuition so that it would make it worth our time. Because, we were busy trading and investing. If somebody's going to, want to learn from us, they're going to have to pay us for taking the time out of trading and investing to go show them.
Right. You got to create the curriculum. There's all the space, all of that. It's an investment in itself.
Yeah. So we were shocked that a bunch of people signed up. We thought no one would sign up, and then there was a flood of people coming in to sign up for it. And so we did our first boot camp in Los Angeles in 2017, during about the middle of the year, right? And it was a huge success. And then we had a bunch of people that contacted and said, hey, we couldn't come because of visas or because of travel or because of scheduling reasons. They couldn't come to Los Angeles and come to the US to learn from us hands-on. And we realized that the bulk of the people that came and learned from us, when we asked them what made you decide to come to the US and come and learn from us, or come to Los Angeles to learn from us, their number one response was they did not want to miss out on this huge boom in cryptocurrencies, and they didn't want to waste all that time learning it and trying to figure it out on their own. Right? So they wanted to just come learn it from somebody who's already had success in it.
But then you came to realize there are other people too who can't physically come to the boot camp.
Yeah, and so what happened was we did a second one just a few months ago, right? For all the people that missed it the first time, right, for scheduling reasons, or they didn't have enough time to get their travel documents to come to the US. And after we finished the second one, we still had a bunch of people complain that, hey, we wanted to come, but we just couldn't come. Is there any way that, did you record the event or anything? And luckily we did. We recorded both events, right, so that we can make it available to our clients who attended the boot camp in person. And so the video recording of the entire 4-day boot camp is called the Cryptocurrency Investing Blueprint. And we put that blueprint together for our cryptocurrency investing boot camp clients.
But you've come to realize clients need it to look back upon, because it's a lot of information, 4 days worth of information, valuable information, and that's a lot to take in.
Yeah.
But then you also realize there are other people who wanted access to this too, that were willing to pay because they couldn't physically come.
Yeah, there's some people, for whatever reason, they couldn't get the travel documents or scheduling issues. They could not physically come to the US to learn from us directly. And so we decided, hey, if we make these videos available to you guys, right, would it be okay? Would you guys be okay with that? And they were like, absolutely. And so we had started people contacting us saying, hey, how do we get a copy of your video, of your cryptocurrency investing blueprint? And the first thing that we did was we wanted to make sure that it was compliant with government regulation.
Was current.
Yeah, it was current, and that we didn't say anything that violated the laws of the US, because the US has the strictest financial laws on the planet that I know of, right? And so we wanted to make sure that it was compliant and that we didn't teach anything or we said anything that was contradictory to the government laws and regulations of America. So it took us a while, and we had to invest a huge amount of money in securities attorneys and blockchain attorneys to review every minute of our video. So whenever someone watches it, right, we wanted to be able to say that this has been reviewed, right, by a blockchain attorney.
You guys were thorough with everything, rather than, oh, you want to buy it? Here. Right.
Yeah. So we, to make sure that we had it reviewed thoroughly and carefully to where we're not saying anything wrong that violates US laws or anything like that, we actually hired a former SEC, a senior SEC attorney, right? And he was also a former federal prosecutor who prosecutes people on financial laws and cases in America. So we had him review it, and then we had a blockchain attorney review it also to make sure that everything was compliant.
Everything's compliant. This is a legit product. It's been thoroughly scanned through and everything. So you guys are now offering it to people that want access to this?
Yeah, it's not for everyone. It's not for everyone. It's for people who are very serious, and I recognize that this is a huge boom. This is the biggest boom in human history that I know of. Now, I've been studying trading and I've been researching trading and investing for many, many years. And I've never, ever seen anything like this in human history. And there are people out there that know this. There are people out there that know this, and they don't want to waste time trying to figure it out on their own. They would rather benefit from us losing all our money. I mean, like all the exchanges that we've used up until now, since 2013, they've all been hacked. They've all went out of business. And people don't want to waste that time trying to figure out which exchanges are good. We lost money using different wallets. We just lost it.
Yeah,
right?
So you guys made mistakes. You guys trial and error, got up, and this product allowed you to show people the right way to do it that you know of.
Yes, we cover everything that a person could possibly want to know about cryptocurrency trading and investing in the blueprint.
Right.
So whenever someone gets a copy of this blueprint, right, it's going to be a huge lifesaver. It's going to be a huge time saver, and it's going to do so much to decrease your learning curve so that it reduces the amount of time that you spend trying to figure it out on your own.
Right. Okay, so the product's there, people are buying it. You're essentially telling people, hey, I've done it, we've made mistakes, we trial and error, it's compliant with laws, it's been scanned through, everything's legal. So you're essentially telling people, if I can do it, you can do it too?
Now keep in mind, we're not licensed financial advisors in the
Right.
US, so we cannot tell people what to do.
Right.
So in the blueprint, it's not a financial advisory product or a
Right.
blueprint, it's a record of the mistakes and the things that we did and the best practices we have for someone to get into cryptocurrency trading and investing, right?
Right.
I've had 3 heart attacks in my life already, and I
Okay.
don't know if I'm gonna make the next one. If I have a 4th one, I don't know if I can make it. And I put my heart and soul into the cryptocurrency investing blueprint, right? Because as I was laying there in my hospital bed, the second time I had the heart attack and the 3rd time, I always wonder what happens to my kids. How can I pass on the trading and investing knowledge that I have from the stock market, the Forex market, the cryptocurrency market and everything? How can I consolidate that, right? Because if I just leave money to my kids and my future generations or my family, what if they just spend it all?
Right.
Right? And I always believe in being educated and leaving the right education to my family so that they can figure out how to do it. And in there, when I teach inside the cryptocurrency investing blueprint, I imagine that I'm talking to my own son, my own daughter, right? My own wife, or my own loved ones, my friends, my family, the coworkers that I've had in the past that I care about, the traders that helped me get here to where I'm at today. I'm thinking that how do I convey this to them so they can benefit from it if I was not around?
Right.
So it's not just
It's just something you put together because you saw a need for it. You wanted, like you said, documentation, a trail, so that if you were to be gone a year from now, 2 years from now, and this boom is still going on, your wife, your family members
I want other people that I care about to benefit from it.
and it just so happened it's a product that other people want as well. Right. So
what I would say is this, right? If someone, this is, like I said, it's not for everyone. Like if you're one of those people that are lazy, you won't accept responsibility for your own actions and you want to blame the world for everything.
Right.
You want to blame people for why you don't have money in your life, or you want to blame people when things go wrong. This is not for you.
Right.
Now, if you're one of those people that like to, beat your head against the wall, crack your skull and waste 2-3 years, trying to figure it out on your own, right? Instead of learning from somebody that's already done it, right? The way I look at it is like this. When you enter cryptocurrency trading and investing, there is a minefield, okay? And LeonFood.com and I and David, we have traversed that minefield, and we've gotten our leg blown off over here, our arms blown off over
But
there.
you left
and
a
we're
trail.
we're leaving a trail and say, hey, don't step here.
Right.
Step over here.
Right.
Go this way, don't go that way.
Right.
And that's what we're hoping that will do for other traders and investors and for people who are serious. Now, so like I said, if you're not willing to take responsibility for your own actions, right, then obviously this is not for you. If you think that, getting the blueprint is just gonna magically print money out of your computer for you without having to do anything, right, and putting any effort in to do it like we show you, right, then this is not for you.
Right.
If you're one of those people that we show you what to do, but then you go do, we show you A, B, and C, but you prefer to go home and do X, Y, and Z instead,
Right.
and then lose your cryptocurrencies and things like that, well then this is not for you.
Right.
Okay? This is for people who say, hey, you know what? I'm working as a dentist, I'm working as a doctor, I'm working as a lawyer, I'm working as a professional, I have a business to run, I have a family to take care of, and I just don't have time to figure this out on my own, and I'd rather let somebody else that's went through this, you know, and already spent half a decade figuring it out, and
Right.
already figured out the safest path to navigate that the minefield, and just show it back to me. That's what this is for.
And everything leading up to this point, from your trading skills, your YouTube channel, the white paper and all of that, it has documentation, so these people really believe in you. They really put their trust in you to show them the right way.
Yeah, and the other thing too is that, you know, we constantly update it,
Right.
right? So that's why when you'll see us, you know, sending updates out, you know, we're constantly updating the people that invest into the cryptocurrency investing blueprint. Once they get a copy, it's a
Lifetime kind of thing?
no, what it is that it's lifetime for the people who got in during the pre-sale, right? But it's we allow one additional upgrade or additional update when we make it, and these major updates don't happen like every week, every month or so. You know, it happens like once a year. We try to update it with all the information that we have, if it's necessary.
If it's necessary. So that's really great of you guys to be able to, okay, there's this product that there's this cryptocurrency that's out there and people want to learn about it, and you guys found solutions to letting other people learn from your mistakes, and also that the ultimate goal to this too is you did it, this is here for you, so can you if you hold yourself accountable. I applaud you for that, because there's not many people willing to do that. Cryptocurrency, Bitcoin and stuff, it's still in the air, but you've come to realize that it's something you heavily believe in, and you've created a product for other people too who believe in it but don't have the time to invest their all in it. So for that, I applaud you.
Thank you.
And I'm pretty sure other people will see the benefit in this too if they are interested in this blueprint. And with that, is there any like ending message you want to send to people?
Yeah, I believe that this is the biggest boom in human history, and I believe that everyone should be involved, and that's just a personal bias I have, you know.
Right.
I've had tremendous success in the cryptocurrency market. My friends, my team members, they've all had tremendous success. You know, we've had tremendous success with the people that have attended our boot camps in person, right? And so I say don't miss out on this boom.
Right, okay.
Don't miss out.
It's an opportunity that's in your reach right now, is what you're saying. Don't miss out on the boom. Thank you for sitting down and taking me and all of the audience through your journey from start to where you are now with the cryptocurrency investing blueprint. I appreciate that. And if you guys want more information on that, we'll provide the information on the screen. And also, thank you for sitting down with me and taking time out of your day, because obviously you're a very busy person, and just chatting with me in general. I genuinely appreciate that, and I know the viewers will too, so thank you for that.
And thanks for having me here, Casey.